Hey there everyone, part one of the CoverGirl scented makeup line. Today I have on the Peach Punch collection from CoverGirl. I have these three products on my face right now. I have the eyeshadow palette, a face palette, and a highlighter. I'll show you how I put all of these on there. So CoverGirl has come out with these sort of scented themed lines. There's the Peach Punch and then there's the chocolate scented. That is next in this video. I will do the whole chocolate scented line for you guys. So here is the True Naked Peach Punch eyeshadow palette. I had an accident with these. I had all of this stuff on my island in my kitchen and I was unpacking my groceries that I bought along with this, and all of it went onto the tile floor. So the worst for wear of all of it was this one. It kind of went a little shattery. But these are some nice eyeshadows. Now, if you're into the peach look, you like some peach eyeshadows, but you want to do it a little bit on a budget, those Too Faced peach ones were a little bit expensive. You've got some peach tones in here that I think are quite pretty. Some of these shadows are a little problematic. This purple one is not the purple that I would want it to be. Let me swatch these for you. Okay, and here are your colors. A few problems with these shades. This is the peach that I have on my lid as a base color with this on top of it. This matte is a little chalky, I guess you could say. It's patchy. It's hard to get an even coating of it. It doesn't like to build onto itself. This purple, if you put it on with a brush, it's very difficult. It does not come out purple at all. It doesn't want to cling to anything. I think that would be best put on with the fingers. This bronze is actually pretty. This is a beautiful, beautiful chocolatey brown. However, it is extremely soft in the pan. You will get extreme, extreme fallout with that one. Just everywhere. The dark chocolate brown is not as pigmented as I would like it. It didn't really want to build up on top of my other colors I had in my outer corner there. And then this color here is a little on the thin side. That's sort of a glittery, sort of shimmery topper. You can't even see the color I have down here. It is this lightest peach, and it is very, very chalky. There's almost nothing to it. It doesn't want to cling. It doesn't want to stick to anything. So what is the scent like? The scent is an intense peach. It is an intense peach scent. You will smell it as you're putting it on. You'll get a little tired of it after a while. You'll get a little sick of the peach smell, but it is not too terrible. I was able to handle it. I think it did make me sneeze there toward the end, but it is definitely peachy. So here we have the Peach Punch highlighter palette. This is actually a cheek palette. It's sort of a sculpting palette. I have all of this on today. We have a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter, and I'll swatch those for you. These two are very matte. You can see on these the sort of chalkiness of them. Yeah, kind of chalky, kind of dry, not really very pretty. It's just kind of a dull peach color. Here's your highlighter. The highlighter is not terrible. It's not bad. It's not glittery. It's a fairly smooth highlighter. It's actually a really pretty pink peach, especially on the cheek. It's actually a really pretty color. So out of those, I think the highlighter is the best bet on that. The bronzer is a little orange for me. It's a little bit orangey. Next is the Peach Punch highlighter. Cute packaging on this with the little peaches on it. Here is the highlighter, and it looks a little glittery. It is the tiniest bit glittery on the skin. It is a little tiny bit glittery. It's kind of a chalky highlighter. It's got a chalky white background to it, which is kind of weird. Sometimes highlighters have that. It's not the greatest highlighter, but... And here's how I applied the Peach Punch products today. Okay, let's get started on the CoverGirl True Naked Peach Punch palette. My hair is actually long enough that I can actually put it kind of in a ponytail now. I'm so excited. So I'm going to start by building my lid first, and then I'm going to pull that color up into the crease. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this color on as my lid color, and then I'm going to put this color on top of it, just on the lid, and I'm going to carry this peach up into my crease and make it sort of my crease color. And I'm just going to start packing this peach matte on. The shimmery sort of pink that I wanted to use on my lid is not all that opaque, so I feel like it needs a background color like this. It's a little on the dry side. It's not kind of wanting to adhere to my lid with the powder on my primer. Gonna actually be the background for my crease color. I'm gonna use a brown that's in this palette for that. I'm gonna go into this brown at the end here, this matte brown. That one's really soft. Ugh. There's eyeshadow everywhere now. That one's really soft. It's kind of falling out everywhere. Now I'm gonna put this shimmering pink peach right here on top of my lid. I like that. It's pretty. Okay, now the smell is starting to make me sneeze. Okay, now I'm going to take this shimmering grape purple here and put that in my outer corner. It's again a very soft color. It's metallic though. It's not showing very purple on. You know I like my purple, so I'm kind of disappointed in this color. Okay, now we're going to try on the cheek products, part of this whole peach punch thing. I'm going to use as my bronzer this bronze color right here. I'm going to use this as my blush, and I'll try this on as my highlighter. There's also a separate highlighter. I'll have to put that on top of this one and show you how both of those look. This bronzer, I can tell you, is going to be too warm for me, too orange. I'm sure of it. It's a matte bronzer, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it on so that you guys can see what it looks like. It's actually not all that terrible, the color. It's very subtle, which is great, because bronzer can sometimes be can get harsh and you have to work to get the lines out. I think the thing is it's a little hard, and that's why it's not going on harshly, because I'm not getting a whole lot on my brush. Now that I'm looking at the color, it is really not bad. It's kind of a peachy tone. It's actually not a terrible color. I thought it was going to be it's a little on the orange side, but I thought it was going to be worse than this. Okay, I used a little contour. I have a Maybelline contour palette that I used to contour, and now I'm going to use this peach color here for my blush. Kind of a satin matte. Ooh, it's pigmented. Be careful. And now let's try out these highlighters. First of all, there's this peach one that's in this palette. Let's try that on first in sort of a wider area, and then I'll put the other separate one on in just the very peak of my cheekbone. This is the pink peach one that's in the palette. That's not bad. It's not a super bright highlighter, or at least it's going to take a couple of coats to get it super bright, but it's a pretty peach. And now let's try this other shade, the separate highlighter. I like that one better. I like that one better. Again, it's not glittery. It's just a little smoother than the one that's in the palette. It almost has a lot of white in it, like a white background to it. Okay, using this rosy brown under my under eye for a liner, piling up. It's piling up. That one is like out of control soft. I mean, yeah. And for all of us chocoholics, here is the chocolate collection from CoverGirl. I have the eyeshadow palette on. I have the Chocoholic bronzer. I don't have that on, and I'll tell you why. And I have the Chocoholic contour palette. Chocolate scented, all of it. It smells really good. I have to say the smell is much more tolerable in this chocolate line than it is in the peach line. Well, let me show you the eyeshadow palette, and then I'll show you how I put all of this stuff on. So these are very dark tones. It's a very dark toned overall palette. I really like this deep olive green right there. Let me swatch these for you. I have to say the quality on this one is just better. The shadows are just better than the peach one. I don't know if it's because they're darker and you can get better pigmentation from a dark color, whereas the peach tones, they were just kind of chalky and dry looking. Okay, here are your shades. I didn't even notice really this purple one that they have thrown in there, but it has like multicolored glitter in it. It's all different colors of glitter. However, I don't think that's the kind of shadow that is going to go on a brush very well. Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time getting a lot of pigment out of it brush wise. but it is absolutely gorgeous when you've swatched a couple of layers on your hand like this. This is the bronze that I have on my lid. I love this olive green. That's another possible pretty lid color. Here's a transition color for you, and then I filled in my inner crease with that one. These are really nice. Here's another deep purple sparkle. I put that on the outer corner. It's one of those that kind of wimps out and goes kind of browny gray. You don't really get that pretty metallic out of it. I'll show you how I put all of that on. Now this bronzer, let's talk about this. Now look, CoverGirl, we can't use that as a bronzer. Look how shiny it is. I mean, it's like eyeshadow, metallic eyeshadow shiny. Let's look at this. I mean, really? We can't. We just can't. I mean, no matter how light you put this on, there, I just barely tapped it on. That is not, cannot be a bronzer. No, we can't. We cannot. Now, the Chocoholic Contour Palette, I do like. I like all of the components of this. So it did get a little bit fractured in its fall in my kitchen there. But you have a contour color and then 2 highlighters. All of this on. This highlighter I put on first, and it is a little deep for my skin tone. It's not highlighting me very much, but it is a nice sort of blush enhancer if you've got sort of a matte blush and you want to give it a little shine. I'll swatch these for you. This is an intensely pigmented contour. Be careful if you use this. Just use a little bit. It is very pigmented. It is a very deep color. And it is a good cool tone contour, which is not all that common. See how pretty that is as a contour color? It's absolutely beautiful. I have that on, and I'll swatch, let me swatch these others. These look so glittery in the pan. There's the peach tone highlighter. It's actually really quite pretty. Good job on these. And then the pink tone highlighter is right there. There's the pink tone highlighter. Sort of more of a rose gold. It's got a lot of peach or gold in it. And that is the peach side, or the pink one right there. So I like these. This is a really pretty contour set. They're a little deep for me, both of them actually, but it's a pretty contour set. So here is how I applied the Chocoholic collection. Okay, starting out with this sort of tan color here as my crease color. Smells wonderful. I have to say the chocolate scent is a lot more appealing long term as you're using the product than that peach one is. And working on my inner crease with this slightly purple brown here. Lovely pigmentation on both of these, and they're really blending nicely. They're very soft, very pretty. I'm going to use this bronze color for my lid. That is a nice metallic. It's nice and opaque. It's giving me lots of coverage. So far I'm liking this one better than the Peach Punch. I'm going to try this purple as my outer corner color. Okay, working kind of backwards, I did go ahead and bronze my face. I'm going to use the contour color from this contour palette. So I'm contouring now with that. And it actually looks like a decent contour color. I wouldn't use this so much as a bronzer because it's really dark. And taking that same contour color and going along my jawline, I'm really going to have to blend this out because it has a lot of pigmentation in it. Okay, let's try both of these highlighters. They're really pretty. This one's kind of a peachy, bronzy color, and then this one has more pink to it. That's actually quite pretty. Yeah, that's really nice. Look at that. This one's a little deep for me, but it's a pretty blush enhancer, I guess. Now we'll go into the pink side here. On top of the peach, that just kind of gives a rose gold. Lining under my eyes with the rosy burgundy brown here. That makes a good liner. These actually have enough pigmentation to do this. Okay, final thoughts. I like the Chocoholic collection better, even though that bronzer is a total miss, But I like the Chocoholic collection better. I like the way it smells better. I like the quality of the products better. I like the shades better. They're just a little more pigmented, a little nicer, less chalky. Again, on the peach one, I can't really use this. Bronzer is a little on the yellow side for me. And the highlighters weren't great on the peach, so I do like the Chocoholic better. So if you're wondering about my nails, these are press-on nails. These are from Impress, but these are stick-on nails, and they're holographic. Can you see that they are holographic? They are white holographic. I think they turned out really, really good. And what is most impressive on these is that these have now been on for 3 days. They are not even thinking of lifting. They are not moving. They're not loose. They have not popped off. I cannot believe it. I like the length. I didn't do a real good job. I didn't put a whole lot of work into putting these on. I did not, for instance, this one's too wide. I didn't go in and cut the sides and file them down and all that. I just kind of glued these on as they were because I didn't want to put a lot of effort into them until I knew that they were going to stay on and they were worth it. Now that I know that they are going to stay on, I went out and bought a couple more boxes of these in different shades. I feel really glam because for me, these are long nails. So I'm really happy with these. What's really good too is that I can run my fingers through my hair and these are not catching. I mean, the base of them down here on the cuticle must be really thin and tapered. So my glam room is coming along really nicely. I made the prettiest stand for my foundations tonight, and it is here on my vanity, and I'm about ready to turn the camera around and show you guys my vanity setup, how pretty everything has turned out. But overall, I'm really happy with my glam room now. I'm really happy with it. I love to be back here. It's so much fun. And yes, we still don't have air conditioning. We still don't have air conditioning. And it's going to be at least 2 more days. One way to beat the heat, though, is to film at night. It is very late at night, and I'm filming at night, and I could spend hours back here because it's so very cool, and it's much better than trying to do it during the daytime and roasting. And I have new things from Tarte coming. They have a new palette, they have a new blush, they have a new eyeliner. I got the palette and the eyeliner, so keep watching for that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching as usual.